Hello and welcome back to Faces of Truth. I'm Alexander McCauley. Last episode we talked about what types of people colonized the United States, but seeing the state the world's in, we have to sort of go back to where this all began in order to fully understand the conflict that's been going on Earth between liberty and control since the beginning of time. Well, since humanity came to this solar system. So let's go back to approximately 5,000 BC. Humanity came to this solar system in a formative period when the Earth and most of the planets were in orbits around a gas giant. During this period, a figure that we would later come to know as our Father God, mentioned in the Bible several times. His biblical Hebrew name being El or Elo, spearheaded a terraforming project here on Earth to create a home for us, his children, to inhabit. Purpose: to gain the ability to create rather than consume. During this period of time when we were training and terraforming our home, one of our brothers by the name of Lucifur comes up with a plan that would basically subvert God's plan of freedom and liberty, his plan of salvation, his plan of happiness. I call this plan the plan of damnation because it doesn't allow for progress. Okay, so let's take a look at both of these plans. The plan of salvation allows people to make choices and then allows for a sacrifice to pay the price for the results of those choices so that we can make better choices in the future. We have to make better choices in the future, though. This is called the plan of salvation. So you could call it the plan of happiness, the plan of progress. There are a number of names for it. But the idea was you had the right to choose. You had freedom. You had liberty. And no one could interfere with that. You had a life. And you could acquire property. The plan of salvation provided for the protection of all human rights. Now, the plan of damnation everyone had everything enforceably in common. So no one was poor, no one was rich. Everyone was forced to comply with certain standards of acceptability. Basically, PC, politically correct standards. Everyone was forced to be charitable. Everyone would be given what they needed to get back to heaven. Amazing plan, not as much risk as the plan of salvation, but it enforced damnation or a stoppage of progress. Salvation facilitated evolution from a blank with no experience whatsoever to a fully fledged creator of whatever you sought to create. Whereas the plan of damnation put you in a cage and did not allow you to grow. Also, part of the plan of damnation was that once Satan, a man with an ego problem, mildly sociopathic, a confidence man, not unlike Andrew Yang or Beto O'Rourke, who wanted total control over his brothers and sisters. Very affable, yet not quite as yet also an elitist, thinking he was better than everyone. In proposing this plan, he had the mindset of supplanting God. He wanted all glory because he got his brothers and sisters back home. You and me back home to heaven to live with God. Thing is, if we did not make the change, if we did not become creators instead of consumers and devourers, we would inevitably not be able to live with God. Because of this, a grand council is convened in heaven among all of the people that would be coming here to earth. Well, actually it states in the Pearl of Great Price that everyone that would be inhabiting our universe. But, or anyway, so the vote was cast and the plan of salvation won over the plan of damnation. Afterwards, heated arguments arose between Satan and his third, which he had convinced to split off from the 2/3 that sided with God. and Jesus Christ to openly rebel against God and Jesus Christ, to try and forcefully, through, I guess nowadays we'd call it counterculture, council culture methods, get their plan of damnation instated. Here is the first part in world history where we actually have total government being pitted democratically against the freedom to choose, people's law. And we all chose, everyone who came here to earth chose that plan of salvation, or people's law, that plan that protected our God-given rights. With this being said, I think I'll end it here. There are some records that state that this conflict ended in violence, and later Satan was cast down into earth where he would not be a threat carrying out his plan of damnation, which is the system that hell is run on. Right now we can see in the political system that we've got a plan of damnation, socialism, versus a plan of salvation, constitutional, limited government, and that our people that are advocating these two systems are exactly the same type of people that were advocating them on the in the beginning when we came to this solar system. And next time we will cover a little bit more of our ancient history, the fall of man and the Epic of Eden. If you enjoyed this presentation, please like, subscribe, and share. I will be, or if you want to leave comments, good. I've been busy, so I haven't been able to keep track of the comments. We also now have a Patreon account up in case you want to help support the making of this content. We thank you for watching. Until next week, this is Alexander McCauley with the Faces of Truth.